And after the instruction by the SPP to say, after reading my warning statements, to say Colonel Sipongo's statement must also be. I just wanted to clear that.
Chair, just for the record, the statement the witness is referring to is, we don't have to go there, but it's CJC 227.3 as part of the record. We don't need to go there, Chair, but the statement is part of the record. Perhaps before you proceed, Warrant Officer, as far as you are aware, has a video footage of the scene ever been obtained?
No.
And Section 205, does that deal with cell phone records?
That's correct.
Sorry?
Yes, that's correct, Commissioners.
And what were you requesting here then when you're saying the 205 application?
No, the 205 application should have assisted them in mapping out the communications between the arrested people and also placing us on the crime scene so that they can know whether we planned this thing before or where was I, for example, before I was called to the scene. Those things can assist. And the reason why you need to get this thing, this Section 205 and video footage as soon as possible is that some get, I'm looking for a better word, but they disappear, like they expire, especially video footage. Maybe if you find out it takes 7 days, then after 7 days you can't get that footage again. And it could have assisted a lot in proving what is it that actually happened on the crime scene.
And at paragraph 49, you're saying that your attorney, Mr. Fenter, informed you. So out of the 4 accused, was he referring to you alone, or is it the 4 of you were going to be released?
I understood it was me because it was after Colonel Sipongo's statement was submitted. He gave me permission to attend the crime scene. Because otherwise, if he had said to me, you don't have to attend, I wouldn't have gone there. So he's the one who authorized my attendance there.
All right, let's go to paragraph 50 then.
Our case was called at around 1500 hours, and to my surprise, the attorney requested to address the court and placed it on record that while on lunch, the head of Gauteng DPCI, Major General Kadwa, together with Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Mlojwa, held a meeting with the Senior Public Prosecutor, Mr. Tusi, and the decision to release me was overturned. The case was placed on the roll and remanded to the following day, the 13th of July, 2021, for a statement. We were imprisoned at Johannesburg Prison with no bail. On the 13th of July, 2021,
maybe read to the record the
they are released on bail. On the 13th of July, 2021, we appeared at Boyson's Magistrate Court, and the case was remanded to the 21st of July, 2021, for bail application at the Johannesburg Magistrate Court. While at Sun City Prison, I was called by the prison warden to inform me that I have a visitor and that I must come to the visiting area. To my surprise, the visitors were the DPCI investigation team of about 6 members led by Captain Sevola. They then told me they were instructed to come see me as they were told I had something to tell them. I told them there is nothing I can tell them as I have appeared before court already, and if I had anything to say, my attorney would have been part of that meeting, and that I never requested to see them. I was then taken back to my holding cell. While still in prison, I was visited by Brigadier Mbele, who came to serve me with SAPS Section 43 notice of suspension. This deals with the suspension without pay of SAPS members while in detention or imprisoned. On the 21st of July 2021, Captain Sevola came to oppose bail, and we submitted our witness statements of Colonel Sipongo, Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, Captain Midupi, Warrant Officer Mohana, Warrant Officer Pogungwane, Warrant Officer Chidi, Sergeant Phakula, Sergeant Sape, and Sergeant Maja as exhibits to prove our innocence. We were granted bail on the same day. I must mention, Commissioners, Warrant Officer Mokhana was not supposed to be part of the witnesses that I'm mentioning here. If we can scratch it.
So must we delete the name?
Yes, Warrant Officer Mokhana. He was not a witness then.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. I called the Human Resource Management Office, a detective service, to inquire if I should report for duty after being granted bail. PPO Melder said I should not, as I was already on suspension. The Section 43 was supposed to have been uplifted once I was released on bail, as was the case with Mokhana's process. A meeting with Major General Khan. While on bail, I received a call from former Warrant Officer Haynes, who told me Major General Khan wants to see me. I refused to meet with Major General Khan. A week or 2 weeks later, Warrant Officer Haynes called again and said, Major General Khan wants to meet with me, and this time I agreed and asked him to send me Major General Khan's contact numbers, I wanted to say. On the 15th of September 2021, I called Major General Khan, and he did not answer the phone. I then texted him and said, "Good day, Jen, it's Phakula." He replied and asked, "Where can we meet?" And he will set up a meeting to my convenience, and asked if he can bring Major General Kadwa, and I refused and stated I will not be comfortable with both of them. At this stage, I was still not clear why Major General Khan wanted to meet with me, hence my discomfort with bringing Major General Kadwa to the meeting. On the 16th September 2021, Major General Khan called me and asked about my whereabouts. And I told him I was in Kibla Park area, and then he requested my location, and I shared it with him. He responded and said he will be there in 15 minutes. I waited for him, and then I saw him, Major General Khan, driving in his grayish VW Golf 7. I then went to him and got in his passenger side of the car. Major General Khan sympathized with me and explained he still did not understand why I was arrested, because he left the scene as he had to rush to Cape Town. He further wanted to know how did the informer that was arrested with us get the information, and I said I did not know, but I can bring the informer to have a meeting with him so he can ask him himself. He further said they were not interested in me, they wanted Colonel Sipungu, and I said to him, Colonel Sipungu knew nothing about the operation. I'm the one who called and informed him about it. Major General Khan confirmed that he spoke with Colonel Sipungu on that day, and he, Colonel Sipungu, confirmed that I called and informed him about the drugs, and he gave me a permission to attend to the matter. Major General Khan asked me who the drugs belonged to, and I told him that people say they belong to him, and he laughed. He told me that he could see that I was doing an honest job, and I requested if he could submit a statement as there was a disciplinary hearing against me for the same case. He promised he would draft it and give it to me before my hearing, which was on Friday, the 18th of September 2021. We parted, and I promised I will avail the informer to him for an interview. He never submitted his statement as per his promise.
Warrant, can we then go on the same file, that you have, go to page 20.
Same file?
Statement file that he has with him, yes. Item 5, the tab will be item 5, thank you.
And then,
Yes, go to page 20. Can you describe to the Commission what is depicted on that page?
Commissioners, this is the screenshot of my conversations with General Khan.
Are you projecting it?
Chair, there seems to be a bit of issue with lighting it. We'll flight it later stage, Chair, when they've located the picture.
Mr. Musigiri, why not in the meantime perhaps continue with the disciplinary hearing and we come to this later?
That seems appropriate, Chair.
Yes.
Warrant Officer, we'll come back to this conversation between you and General Khan. Then let's move to the next topic, which is the notice to appear at the disciplinary hearing. And then you pick it up at paragraph 63 of your statement. So that will be page 18.
Okay, notice to appear at a disciplinary hearing. Around August 2021, I received a phone call from Lieutenant Colonel Mashego, who is employed at International Vehicle Crime Investigations at the head office, informing me he wants to meet with me in order to serve me with the notice to appear at an expeditious disciplinary hearing. I told Lieutenant Colonel Mashego I have tested positive for COVID-19 and that I needed to isolate. About 2 weeks later, Lieutenant Colonel Mashego called and requested that we meet. We met and he gave me the notice to appear for my discipline hearing, which was dated the 18th September 2021 at Stock Theft Boardroom. I was never served with a notice of investigation as per the regulations, no other documents shared except the factual report and the notice to appear at a hearing. Again, this was different from Ghana's disciplinary process. I was charged with defeating the ends of justice and possession of drugs. The chairperson of the hearing was Brigadier Kopoditata. I presented my case and gave all the statements I have prepared from my witnesses, which included the statements from Colonel Sipungu, Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, Captain Midupi, Warrant Officer Mohana, Warrant Officer Pagungwana, Warrant Officer Chidi, Sergeant Phakula, Sergeant Sape, and Sergeant Maja. The employer only presented a factual report which was prepared by DPCI investigation team and relied on it to prove the employer's case. The hearing was remanded for Monday, the 20th of September 2021. On Monday, the 20th September 2021, I was dismissed from the SAPS. I immediately appealed the decision through the SSPC, Safety and Security Sectoral Bargaining Council. Boysen's case 252 of 10/2021.
Warrant Officer, you have, as in the list of witnesses, you have Warrant Officer Mohana.
Yeah, this time is.
This time is there. Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Commissioner. Boysen's case 252 of 10/2021. Since our arrest, it has always been our intention, me, Warrant Officer Mohana, Chief Mashaba, and the informant, that we should open a case against the members who arrested us. After consultation with our attorney, we opened a case against Major General Khan and the members of the DPCI, General Kadwa, Brigadier Sikhobela, Colonel Stein, Captain Sebola. We opened a case of defeating the ends of justice and theft of drugs. The case was investigated by IPID. According to crime scene management guidelines, the first member at the crime scene, regardless of rank or position, is tasked with assuming control and ensuring that no unauthorized individuals, including higher ranking or police officers unrelated to the incident, gain access to the crime scene. These individuals played a huge role in arresting us, releasing the suspects that we had placed under arrest, and further tampered with exhibits which we believe were stolen. We relied on the investigation from IPID to further identify other perpetrators who might have also played a role in defeating the ends of justice and theft of drugs. When Major General Khan first arrived at the scene, The scene was under control. There were officers who came from crime intelligence, such as Lieutenant Colonel Moloi, who interacted with Warrant Officer Mohana, who congratulated us on the good work we did. There were also other members who came to us, like Lieutenant Colonel Ndlela. He heard our story and left. Upon the disposal of the Boyson's case 98 of 7/2021, I realized that the exhibits were booked at Boyson's SAPS on Friday, the 9th of July, 2021. On Monday, the 12th of July, 2021, those exhibits were booked out and transported to Tshwane SAPS College. Exhibits were only booked in at Forensic on Monday, 19th July, 2021. I then noticed that the forensic back numbers of exhibits that were received at Forensic were different from those that were initially booked at the Boyson's SAPS. Furthermore, Warrant Officer Morris from DPCI, who transported the exhibits to Forensic, his statement stated that a few forensic bags were damaged during transportation, that new forensic bags were used.
Warrant, here in this paragraph, when you say you realize that the exhibit were booked at Boyson's, and then you later on say you noticed that the forensic bag numbers of exhibits that were received by forensic were different. What do you mean by that? How did you realize this? When did you notice this? Where did you get this information?
Okay, when we went for trial at the High Court, they disposed the copy of the docket to us, and copy of the docket included the SAP copy of the SAP 13 at Boyson's SAPS. So from that copy of the SAP 13, compared to the 212 statement from FSL, there were there were bags that were not reflecting, that were there at the Boyson's, but they are not reflecting at Forensic.
All right. Can you then move on to your paragraph 70? Upon further investigations?
Upon further investigations, it was found that one brick with a new forensic bag number was only received at Forensic on the 10th of August 2021. This information was not part of the docket that was disclosed. The circumstances of this single brick are unknown. Who booked it? Where was the brick all this time? That information was deliberately concealed from us. It is evident that the intentions of these officers at the scene were not to investigate the crime. The only way for them to take control of the crime scene was to arrest us. In that way, they could divert their attention to the arrested police officers and let the real perpetrators free. In March 2022, we appeared at Boyson's Court and we were served with indictment to appear at the High Court on the 22nd of April 2022. We were being charged with possession of drugs and drug trafficking, fraud, and defeating the ends of justice. The indictment was signed by Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, Gauteng Local Division, Advocate J. Strotsky. After our appearance on the 22nd of April 2022, we received the disclosure of the docket Boyson's case 98 of 7/2021, and we then requested our attorney, Mr. Johan Extien, to prepare representations. Our representations were submitted and we received feedback through our attorney on the 24th of June 2022 from the Deputy Director of Public Prosecution, Advocate Serepo. In his report, the advocate stated that the evidence in this matter have been carefully considered by this office. We are of the view that there is prima facie evidence with reasonable prospects of a successful prosecution against the accused, close quote. Therefore, our representations were unsuccessful and declined. We then instructed Mr. Extien to appeal that decision. Our trial date at the High Court was set for October 2022. Around July 2022, Mr. Johan Extien submitted our appeal to Advocate Rodney de Kock, the Deputy National Director of Public Prosecutions. While still waiting for the outcome, I was informed by Colonel Sipungu, Captain Midupi, and Sergeant Phakula that they were called in for consultation. I was informed by both Sergeant Sape and Sergeant Phakula that during consultation with Advocate Ryan from Gauteng local DPP, they advised her to demand the CCTV footage of the crime scene from the investigating team. This would have assisted the prosecution in getting the proof of what actually happened
The contents
at
of
the
the
crime scene.
docket.
They were not filed in the docket. Our case was provisionally withdrawn on the 12th of October 2022, pending the outcome of the appeal at NDPR. On the 29th of January 2024, Advocate Rodney de Kock wrote to Mr. Extian in response to our representations, stating that he agrees with the recommendations of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Gauteng Local Division, Johannesburg, not to pursue the prosecution. General Kadwa inquired with Advocate de Kock the reasons for his decision, and Advocate de Kock responded with an email dated 21st of June 2024, stating his reasons. The Boyson's case 25210-2021 was submitted to Gauteng Local DPP for decision. The decision was taken by Advocate Drotsky, declining to prosecute General Khan and the members of the DPCI. We then decided to appeal the decision and wrote to the Director of Public Prosecution, Advocate Chauke, who also agreed with the decision by Advocate Drotsky. My reinstatement into SAPS. In November 2023, I successfully won my appeal to be reinstated in the SAPS. The award stated that I should be reinstated with the same terms and conditions as before my dismissal. I, however, reported for duty on the 16th April of 2024. Around September 2024.
Warrant Officer, is there a reason why, if you were reinstated in November 2023 and you only went back in April, can you explain that time period? Why is that so?
Yes, Commissioners. I was also concerned with the amount of time that it took for the SAPS to finally implement the award that I should be reinstated. And it became clear at the later stage that some of the senior members were still trying to appeal the decision for my reinstatement in the SAPS. So this might have been the delay.
You were not the cause of the delay.
No, Commissioner.
You were ready to
I was ready, yes.
to go back as soon as
Correct,
the
Commissioner.
award had been made in your favor.
Correct, Commissioner.
Thank you. May proceed.
Around September 2024, I was shortlisted for a post-promotion at NINU, which is National Investigation Unit, post reference 3557 of 2024-2025. I went for an interview, and the chairperson of the interview panel was Major General Motsipe. When other post-successful candidates were announced, my post was not announced. No reasons were given. So, Major General Khan's disciplinary hearing. Around February 2025, I was one of the witnesses who testified at the disciplinary hearing of General Khan. The hearing was chaired by Lieutenant General Mukwanazi. Other witnesses who